Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Unless you live under a rock, you've seen the craziness of the stock market this week. This portfolio just yesterday is up from 72,400 to 73,800 pounds without me adding a penny. Okay, and right now, as you can see, we're 6% up, 4,300, almost 4,230 pounds up right now. Alhamdulillah, it's a great news, and I'm not complaining, but I'm just want to talk about exactly what is happening. So let's talk about the market news first, then we'll talk about Nvidia, then we'll talk about Broadcom, and then the tech stocks that I own in my portfolio and what my plans are, considering some of them have gone up so much. I'm now thinking, what do I do with this? So I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do with this. But let's start first looking at the markets, okay? So unless you live under a rock, you probably have seen what is going on in the stock market, okay? A lot of the companies are up. So just this is for the 1 week. So companies like, for example, Microsoft is up about 4.5%, which is absolutely not bad, right? Then you've got Adobe, which is up almost 12%. I was down so much on this company. Right now, I think I'm like 1% down or so. Apple is flat for the week. Visa and MasterCard are actually down for the week. But the main companies that actually did absolutely amazing this week are companies like Tesla, for example, 7%. Okay. You can see everything else. This kind of reminds me actually 2020, 2021, because a lot of the companies in the S&P 500 we're not really participating as much when it comes to the tech bubble, if you like. It wasn't a bubble, but it is what it is, right? So let's look at Nvidia right now. So Nvidia is up about 25% almost. Broadcom, for some reason, tagged along, okay, and because Apple basically released a news, which I will get to in a second, and it's up almost 20% as well, okay. AMD 20%, okay. Applied Material 7%, okay. Again, KLA 8%, almost 9%. So there's so many companies that are up just this week. What I want to do now, I want to talk about some of the things, especially the Broadcoms and Nvidias and so on, and going forward. So as you can see here, for the 1 week, okay, the Nasdaq is actually up about 3.5%, which is actually huge considering for the year we're like at some point with the S&P 500, I think it was last week or week before, it was only 7% up. So for the 1 month for the Nasdaq, okay, so the QQQ is actually up about 8%. Let's call it about 9%. For year to date is up 31%, almost 32%, which is absolutely huge. So if you bought this, obviously a lot of the companies in there are non-Sharia compliant, so I wouldn't buy that. But if you own some of these companies in there, you're doing really well. Hence why some of the companies that I own for this week have done absolutely amazing, which I will share with you in a minute, because some of them are up so much, it's ridiculous, right? I don't even know what to do with them. Now let's have a look at the S&P 500, okay? A year to date, the S&P 500 is 10% up, but for just this week, it's just almost flat. So it hasn't done much this week, because when you think about it, the S&P consists of loads of 500 different companies. Although the big boys are doing really well, it doesn't mean basically companies like, for example, the energy companies, which are also huge companies, have not participated. That the Pfizers and the J&Js have not participated, all of that madness. So it is kind of flat for the week. But then you look at the Dow Jones Industrial, which includes kind of all companies that are very stable, free cash flow, all the good things that we normally look for in terms of a stability side of things. But when you look at the last 5 days, it's actually down 1%. Because of this, some of the companies that are in there are the companies like, for example, the J&Js is in there. The Pfizer is not actually anymore there, like Merck and so on. Some of the Medtronics and whatever. The companies that are in there are down quite a bit. But a year to date, this is the kind of as flat. So for a year to date, these companies have not participated the 30-something%. Then basically the Nasdaq has done. So I'm not saying there is a bubble in the Nasdaq, but it is actually interesting to see 31% up. Remember, these are the companies that did not do well at all in 2022. And a lot of people sold it and basically lost their money because they think these companies are not going to do well enough. So companies that are in the Nasdaq are doing absolutely amazing job. And one of those companies is Nvidia. So Nvidia, for example, has reported its earnings for basic Q1 for 2024. And in terms of revenue, when you look at the highlights, for example, right, in terms of the top line and bottom line, there was nothing to scream about. Okay, they beat that by 0.17, so 17 cents basically when it comes to the EPS, for example. When it comes to revenue, okay, they basically beat by 670, which is quite nice, right? But year on year, this time last year, if you compare it, the result to this time last year, is actually down by 13.3%. But this is where things get interesting, right? So the data center, which is one of their main revenue, where one of their main revenue comes from, is basically they made about $4.28 billion in terms from that. As things change, more companies start doing more to do with AI and so on, these data center companies will want to use that data, some sort of AI and so on. And these companies actually invest in a lot of money into AI and so on. So the data center for this company is going to do really well. And some of their customers are some of the big boys, right? But this is one of the reasons why the stock went up 28% or whatever it was on that day is this, okay? So the Q2 of 2024, they said revenue is expected to be $11 billion for that just one quarter. And the consensus were 7.1 billion, give or take about 2%, okay, plus or minus. 7.11 to now $11 billion. So the whole market just went absolutely mad when this happened. And that's the selling point. That is their highlight. No one actually even cared about this. This could be a B. This could be a down, whatever. But the fact that they said, you know what? We're not going to do 7.11, which is what you expect. We are going to do $11 billion. Now, let's have a look at a couple of things. So this is how they report. You got the data center, which we said we've already seen this number. And if I compare this to Q1 of last year, 3.75 billion, right, to right now 4.12. So it's actually heading the right direction. It's actually increased. Gaming, on the other hand, is actually declined from Q1 to last year to Q1 this year. Professional visualization is actually also declined from 600 million to right now 295 million. Same goes for auto. No, actually, this was up. Okay, so this is up from Q1, but then other is also down from last year, the Q1 from last year. But the good news is when you look at this is why I don't like looking at quarterly earnings. Okay, because by looking at that, you think, oh, okay, so the company hasn't actually done well. But when you look at from basically Q2 of last 2022 to right now, basically where the company is, you can see it's more or less heading the right direction, although it's declined from this to right now here. But in the last at least 3 quarters, it's actually heading the right direction. So from 5.9 billion to 6 billion to now 7 billion. Okay, but it is a decline from 2023. So overall, this is not like mind-blowing kind of situation. But a lot of it is because what's expected from this company moving forward. So the estimates, and remember these are estimates, even the company cannot guarantee that's what they're going to do. That's basically they expect this to be the case. So anything can happen, things can easily change. So if we look at the EPS, for example, and look at how many people, this number is increasing by the day. Okay, everybody is basically interested to see what this company is going to do. So these numbers, the analyst is actually changing as we speak. So this could change by the time you look at it tomorrow or so on, right? So January of 2024, they're expecting, so I'm looking at yearly, right? So they expect 132% basically growth in terms of EPS. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of analysts looking. So if we just focus on maybe the first 3, you can see it's definitely heading the right direction. So from 100 plus to right 24, then 27%. That could even change. Another thing that's happening is exactly the same when it comes to the revenue side of things. Okay, from all the way, if we look at again the top 3, as you can see, from 42.8 billion to 50 to 62 billion dollars. That's mad. Okay, so almost 60% growth in terms of year-on-year growth, 17%, and then 24%. So this is why, one of the reasons why this stock has gone up so much in the last couple of days. And the final thing I want to talk about is when it comes to Nvidia, which is basically Morningstar. Morningstar is one of those websites I kind of like to check. Right now it's about 2 stars because it's gone up so much. What have they done since the company reported? They have acknowledged the fact that this company is growing their revenue by $11 billion, okay, which will be 64% year over year and 53% sequentially, okay. What are they going to do? They are going to raise their estimates. So from $300 per share, which is basically what they thought the fair value of the stock should be, okay, from 200 to 300. So they've raised it by $100 because of what the company has said, and obviously because Nvidia's data center segment revenue to grow at 30% compounded annual growth rate over the next 5 years, up from only 19% previously. Okay, so about 21% up from where it is. So there's a lot of things going on for this company, but really the valuation is going to be questioned right now. And the fact it's gone up 28% or whatever it was in one day or 1 week, it's up 24%, okay, to 25% almost. That is huge for their company like this. So what would I do if I actually own this company? I promise you I would be taking some profit off the table just in case these estimates do not come to light, whatever. Okay, just for that reason. Now, let me talk about the ones that I own because I don't have Nvidia in my portfolio. And the company I want to talk about is Broadcom. Broadcom was actually tagged along with Nvidia this week. So just for this week, it's up about 19%, which is absolutely huge. But year to date is up 46%. I was talking about this company for a long time. Now, the company basically reports its earnings just next week, okay? So 1st of June basically is when they will report. So it will be interesting to see, and as you can see, a lot of people have revised basically higher and said no, the company is going to do better than actually they said they're going to do. So if we look at, for example, earnings estimate for this company from about 10%, 7%, 6%, it doesn't look that great. So we will see what happens. But one of the reasons it's up quite a bit is because now Apple has actually came out and said we will be working with Broadcom to provide us some of the components that we use for our devices. And that for that reason it's actually gone up so much to the point where I'm right now as we speak, believe me or not, right? Look at the portfolio, right? I'm up about £4,000, right? 2 of those 4,000 comes from this one single stock. I'm up almost 80%, 78% for this company. I wish I bought more long time ago, but then what happened? It actually moved, right, from 3rd or 4th place or whatever it was to right now 2nd place. Okay, ASML is the next one, but this has gone up so much as well in the last couple of days just for just this week. So I am right now up £2,000. Now, what am I going to do? I'm doing absolutely nothing. And I mean it, genuinely nothing. Why? Because I've seen this company go up to 34% for 30, 40% and then come down maybe 20% in the whatever. I'm not here just to buy and sell this type of company. This company has a solid business. They're growing their business. They pay excellent dividend, okay? Although I'm tempted to take £2,000 off the table right now and say, do you know what? Thank you very much, and invest it into another company. Right now, as we speak, things might change from the 1st of June. If things come out and the company is not basically heading basically upwards, okay, and they come out and everything is doom and gloom, then maybe I'll take some things off the table, right? But right now, as we speak, I'm just going to wait for the earnings. I'm going to hold on to this. This is one of the companies that I want to hold on to for a very long time. So I'm not doing anything with this company. The other companies that are actually tagged alone have done really well are ASML. So ASML is actually now up about 17-16%. So again, that's not a lot. So it's about £700. I think at some point a few weeks ago it was in the red. Right now I'm up 7% or 17% or £700, just over £700. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm not doing anything with this company. I would like to add 2 more basic shares of this company and leave it alone. So Broadcom, and ASML, I'm not touching them. The other one I want to talk about is Adobe. Adobe's gone up so much, like you've seen early. Okay, so it's up about almost to 12% this week because of this general markets. So right now I'm just down just 1.5%. What am I doing with the company? Like I've always said to you guys, I've kind of changed my mind here and there. Some days I want to get rid of it because I want to keep dividend paying stocks in here. Some days I'm like, you know what, leave it, buy more. So I still haven't made a decision. To be honest with you, I'm kind of changing my mind here and there. If I take it out of here though, it will definitely be going to the family portfolio if it comes down back again to a little bit. I would love to start buying this company. Maybe if it goes back down to again where it was not long ago, okay, 320s, if it goes back down there, which is definitely possible because we've seen it go down that route a lot more time. In fact, it went down as low as on the 30th of September, right, $275 per share. Since then it's actually up so much. So right now I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll let you know as soon as I make that decision. Right, so a couple of more technology companies. Well, Cisco is not doing much, so it's about 4% up, so it hasn't tagged alone. It's not really that sort of a company. It's got lower beta. But the other one is Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft is up right now 60% at £1,500. I've had this company for a long time. I've always had about 700 more profit in terms of profit wise, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm not doing anything with it. Like I've always said to you guys, I'm not touching this company until the earnings have got more ad revenue and they basically become non-Sharia compliant, whatever. I'm not touching this company. I really love the business. We use it in our company. We use it every single day, and every single day I've realized how much I actually really like this business. So I'm not touching that anytime soon. Qualcomm has actually done all right this week as well. I think it's up just about 4%, whatever. So I'm okay with it. I'm not touching it, not doing anything with it. I will actually add to it in the next couple of days. And then Visa is obviously down for whatever reason. I actually need to look at it a bit more detail this week because it's actually everything else has gone up, but it's down about 3-4%. Either way, I'm up about 11%, so I'm going to keep it. So those are the technology companies that have done okay this week. Everything else is down. Everything else is down, really, genuinely. So I'm just going to keep an eye on the market as usual. Dollar cost average every single month. If you missed the Nvidia madness, please don't just jump on it right now. It's too late. It's too expensive. It's too risky. Be careful. Save your money for another day. You will get a chance. I promise you, you will see a chance for this. You might remember what people were saying Tesla. We got a chance not long ago where it almost got to basically almost less than $100 per share, right? But right now again, it's back again in the 200s. So please be careful. Okay, invest your money in a quality businesses that you know are not overvalued right now. Don't follow the hype. That 24%, 25%, it might not happen again. Okay, and if it happens again, I'll be wrong. But hey, but yeah, just be careful, please. I'm going to stop the video there. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu Alaikum.